We just had a vintage James Harden performance in a Clippers win over the Washington Wizards. He just put up 43 points on 13 for 22 shooting and 7 for 11 from the three-point line, along with 7 assists as the Clippers won 121-96. And this is the James Harden that we haven't seen as much through the past couple of seasons with the Clippers, and even going back to Philadelphia. He wasn't the ball-dominant scorer that he was in Houston, and when he was in Houston, we would see games like this all the time where he would put up, in a week, he would have a 40-point game, a 50-point game, and possibly a 60-point game. But we haven't seen this as much, and he's become more of a pass-first point guard who has been setting up teammates like Norman Powell, who's having a career year. But James Harden just reminded us that he is still very, very, very capable of being the scorer that he once was. A lot of people have been having conversations of whether he is washed or whether he can still perform to the same level that he once was. But this just goes to show that he still definitely has it in him to go out and score 40 on good efficiency in his sleep. James Harden is still one of the best scorers of our generation and of all time. And tonight just proves that even though he's getting older and even though he's taken on a different role for the Clippers to be successful, he still can do that. And it also goes to show that he is taking his role seriously with the Clippers. He's been the facilitator for this team, and he has been playing a very unselfish brand of basketball, because normally if a player has been a scorer for their entire career and that's been their go-to thing, they have a hard time adjusting to a role of facilitator or decoy later on in their career. But with the Clippers being down Kawhi Leonard right now, and with Paul George leaving over the summer, they needed someone to create offense for the entire team, and they knew that James Harden by himself was not going to be able to win games just by scoring the basketball himself. So he's taken a backseat, and while he still is scoring the basketball and he's averaging 21 points a game on subpar shooting numbers, to be fair, but he's still averaging 21.5 points a game, he has taken on the role of facilitator, and he's let Norman Powell really go to work this season. And Norman Powell's having the best season of his career, as Norman Powell's kind of been starting in the spot of Kawhi Leonard at that 2 to 3 spot, and he's averaging 23 points a game on 49% from the three-point line, and James Harden has a huge part to do with that. As, like I said before, he's taken on his role as a facilitator seriously, and we all know that he can still score, especially after a night like tonight. But he has shown that he has matured to the point where he wants to win and will take on any role to do so. And that is very admirable for a player like James Harden, who for a majority of his career was the guy everywhere he went and was taking all the shots all the time. But he's been able to defer and show maturity in deferring to Norman Powell at crucial times in games, and he's able to be the teammate that he needs to be able to win games with his franchise, not just put up crazy stats. And he was accused for a long time of stat padding and looking for his own numbers in Houston, and that's why at times they were perceived to lose games because of his shot chucking and stat padding. But now he has matured to the point where he is looking like an all-around basketball player who can have games where he'll take over a game like tonight and put up 43 points, or he'll have a game where he'll put up a crazy amount of assists like he did against the Warriors a couple weeks ago, where he had only 12 points, but he had 16 assists. If his shot isn't falling right now, he is able to facilitate and get other people looks that they wouldn't have had, and use the gravity that he has to facilitate for others. After a game like this, teams are on notice. He can still score the basketball at a high clip, but he has matured to the point where he's going to use that gravity that teams give him. And if they show a double, he will be able to pass to the open man and help the team win more than looking for his own stats. And that's where he's matured a lot. Let me know if James Harden will be an all-star this year, and if the Clippers can make the playoffs and a deep playoff run. God bless you. Have an amazing day, and make sure to subscribe to the channel. God bless.